Okay, this is about the absolute value, and I'm using a V, but I know some of you might be using an A for absolute value. So we'll talk about how you make the absolute value look like an A instead of a V. But with the absolute value, there's two things you want to consider. For y equals absolute value of x, normally the absolute value is at 0, 0 and has the V shape out from there. Okay, that's normally where it is. And then normally the absolute value on either side has a slope of 1 or a slope of -1 on the two sides. That's like the parent function for absolute value. So I'm going to kind of move this absolute value and look at the slope so I can show that it's different. So I'm going to start right at the middle here. My middle is 2. Normally it's at 0, 0. Can somebody tell me how the parent function moved? I didn't draw that rainbow correctly. How the parent function moved to make my V. Can somebody describe that transformation? Elijah?
Was it go horizontal shift right to?
Yep. And then some of you said the correct vocabulary. I heard it. What was it? Translate to the right too. Yeah. So we're translating right too. So that means is horizontal inside or outside? Yeah. Is horizontal inside or outside? I only heard 2 people, and that worries me a little bit. Horizontal is inside, and that's the non-common sense one. Yeah, it's the one that's backwards. So with my equation, I'm going to have y equals, and on the inside, I'm going to have x. And what am I going to do if we're going to add the 2 or minus the 2? I'm going to minus because it's the not common sense, the opposite of the way it looks on the graph. And then the second thing I have to look at is the slope, because this is 2 lines put together. So you can find your slope with the formula, or you can count rise, overrun, rise, overrun. And it looks like my slope is what number? 3. On that side is 3. On this side is -3, but this V shape is up, so it's a +3. So that slope goes in front of the absolute value. So if you moved your absolute value, if you move the entire V up, then you'd have to do something on the outside. Like if you went up or down, plus, up, minus, down. You put that on the outside because that's vertical. And then the last question, does anybody remember what flips it to make an A? What turns it upside down? Does anybody remember what we do to the absolute value there? Maddie? Yeah, so this one would start with a negative absolute value of whatever is, if there's something on the inside. Okay, and then you know what? If you're having trouble in your absolute value and you got stuff on your paper, I can look at it and help you with it.